Tonight, Richard Emery is on death row at the Potosi Correctional Center. A judge sentenced him to death last month for killing his girlfriend, her 2 children, and her mother. Many first responders are still trying to cope with the trauma they experienced that night.
2 officers who got into a shootout with Emery opened up to the I-Team's Christine Byers in an exclusive interview. A warning, this story contains never-before-seen body camera footage and 911 audio from that shooting, which may not be suitable for some viewers.
911, where's emergency?
It was the call that ended their careers.
He's shot us. He's meeting us up shooting.
A woman, her 2 children, and her mother had been shot and killed by her ex-boyfriend. And it was up to officers Kyle Schmidt and Jeremy Bratton to stop the man who did it.
Hands out the window now!
You know, we're investigating a shots fired, no response from the caller anymore. And he drives like he's just out for a drive.
Bratton had 17 years on the force when it happened. Schmidt, just 5 months.
As quickly as I could decide what I needed to do, he was out of the truck and sprinting towards Jeremy.
It was all hell broke loose. It was just loud booms. I described it as like a cannon going off next to your head. And at the same time, I'm hearing tink, 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 and it takes me a moment to realize that's my door. You know, that's what's the rounds hitting my door.
Bratton took cover behind his car, thinking about what his family might read about him should he be killed.
I wanted my kids to know that I just didn't give up.
Both officers returned fire and then ran to each other.
My hit.
He had white flecks all down the front of his uniform, which was paint from the bullets striking his door.
You guys covered, let me check him.
Emery darted into the woods. 2 of Bratton's bullets had hit him. Still, Emery managed to carjack and stab a woman almost a mile away.
It really was by the grace of God that she lived.
Feelings of failure crept in.
It was extremely shameful. I mean, you feel like your job is to stop a person like this.
Both tried returning to duty.
As time went on, things for me just progressively got worse.
There was definitely times of suicidal thoughts.
You also shouldn't have to talk yourself into going to work every time you get in your car thinking this could be it.
Eventually, both officers resigned.
It was a relief, but that didn't mean like the struggles didn't stop.
Neither officer could sleep, and both ended up in Alyn McManus's chair. She's with the Missouri Crisis Intervention Team. Her goal? Helping them process the trauma by mimicking sleep.
In a traumatized state, certainly the brain is not going to achieve REM sleep.
She uses tools like light bars and hand buzzers to help clients move their eyes like they do during sleep.
So we actually invite the brain purposefully into that space while we're bringing up the material that is traumatic for that individual.
And no longer a dark place to go. They were skeptical at first.
We sit down and she throws these devices in my hands and she's like, all right, now hold on to these and we're going to talk.
They were also desperate for help.
We're trained to put up with a lot and to not show fear and to not need help and to make the best out of any situation. But when that's not working, you have to try an alternative method.
The officers led our cameras in a recent session where they focused on moving forward.
What does all that tempt you to want to believe about yourself and your world right now?
That I'm not capable of correcting it or not worthy of being at peace from it.
Bratton now works for a school district's transportation division, Schmidt for the IRS. New careers and new hope from McManus is what helps them heal. Schmidt says he holds on to what she told him during their first session when he asked her if she thought he could overcome his fears.
The simple answer is we don't know. We're not going to know until we find out, but we have tools to deal with it.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Now, the type of therapy the former officers are using is called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or EMDR. To learn more about how it is also used for other trauma, PTSD, and child abuse victims, you can look for this story at ksdk.com.